Hello and welcome to Education at SSBJ Online Video Tutorials. We are in chapter motion of class 9th CBSE. In this video tutorial, we shall take a very simple problem and solve that problem using equations of uniformly accelerated motion. And what are the equations of uniformly accelerated motion? Number one, v is equal to u plus at. Please recall the previous video on this and previous few videos where we have derived this equation. Number two, s equals ut plus half at square. The third one is v square minus u square is equal to 2as. Now please recall that the v which is used here is a small v, and what does it stands for? It's a final velocity, right? And what about small u? Small u is initial velocity. Now a, you all know, it is acceleration. Let me keep this as capital, not an issue. Now t is a time taken, total time taken or time interval. And that s, small s, is you can consider either as a displacement or a distance. Now why we should consider displacement as distance or velocity as speed? Because in class 9th we are dealing with a linear motion. And what do you mean by linear motion? The motion of an object which are moving in a straight line, right? We take only this type of situation. In the higher classes you will be dealing with other types of motion also, right? So once again, now we are solving a simple problem which is based on uniformly accelerated motion, right? Let us take a simple problem. Whenever you read a problem, try to visualize the problem. Visualize means actual car should come in front of your eyes. A car is moving in 72 km per hour, okay, which is already moving in 72 km per hour. Look at this. Read very slow. With an acceleration of 1 meter per second square. What is its final speed at the end of 10 seconds? Now visualize this. A car which is moving already in 72 km per hour speed. Okay. Now as I have already told you, a speed is also can be considered as velocity. Speed can also be considered as velocity because we have considered a body which is moving in a straight line with an acceleration of 1 meter per second square. And what is the final speed? That is final velocity, okay, at the end of 10 seconds. So what is the time between this position and first position? That is 10 seconds, right? And what is the speed if an acceleration of this car is 1 meter per second square? Well, these are the informations which are given in this situation. Now first thing what we have to do, please remember, we have to write all that information which is given in a content called given, because whenever you solve this problem there will be a mark allotted for this information. So what is given here? We are being given a initial speed, right? So it starts from here. So its initial speed is 72 km per hour. And as I have already told you, initial speed can be initial velocity because it's a linear motion. And what is the letter, the symbol used for initial velocity? That is u. Please recall the previous video. So u is equal to 72 km per hour. So look at the unit here, kilometer per hour, right? And please remember, velocity will have an SI unit meter per second. So we need to convert it into meter per second because the acceleration is given in SI unit. right? So here the time also is given in SI unit, standard unit. But this is not the SI unit. That means we have to convert this into meter per second. Now how will you convert this into meter per second? Please recall the previous videos. I have already told you 72 kilometer we have to convert into meters and then hour into second. So in short, you can simply multiply by 5 by 18. So 18 ones are 18 fours are, right? And that is equal to 20 meter per second. So we have converted this 72 kilometer per hour into meter per second, that is 20 meter per second. This you should not forget, right? After that, acceleration is given, right? A is equal to 1 meter per second square, already in SI unit. So there is no problem here. Now time is given 10 seconds. Once again it is in SI unit. So now we have all the information which are in same unit, that is standard unit. And what is to find? Speed. And which speed? Final speed, right? Or we can call it as final velocity. And what is the symbol used for final velocity? Small v is equal to question mark. So this is v. Now please recall, right, the equations of uniformly accelerated motion. And what are those? V is equal to u plus at, s equals ut plus half at square. Now since it's a first problem, I'm going a bit slow and writing again and again all these equations. And third one is v square minus u square is equal to 2as, right? Now one of these equation we have to use. There are different ways to solve this problem, but I want you to select one of these and do the needful required for this situation. Alright, now look at this. U is given and here U is there here in this equation. A is there with us, 1 meter per second. A is also is with this equation. T is also in this equation. And what is to find? V. So you can simply use this equation. V is equal to U plus AT. Now can we use this equation? Look at this. U is there, T is there, A is there, but small v is not there in this. Displacement is there, so this equation is not useful for us. So again there is S here, displacement. This equation is also not useful for us. So what is the equation used? Okay, so what is the formula? V is equal to straightway U plus AT, right? Now you will get a mark for this, then for the formula you will get the mark, and then calculation, and which is to be expressed in proper units. So all these subtitles carry marks. Now when you solve this question on your answer paper, how it should look like, right? It should be very neat. So after the statement, the first thing which you have to write is given, and under given you have to write what is u, that is in this case I have already told you 72 kilometer per hour, which is equal to 72 into 5 by 18, 18 ones are 18 fours are, so that is equal to 20 meter per second. And then acceleration is equal to 1 meter per second square, time is equal to 10 second, and final velocity is question mark. After that what should come is your formula, and what is the formula? V is equal to u plus at, and then your calculation, all step by step. Under the calculation, I am doing a calculation here. V is equal to u plus at, right? V is the final velocity which we are going to find out here. That is equal to u, that is 20 plus acceleration is 1 into time is 10. So this t is 10 second, acceleration is 1 meter per second square, and u is 20 meter per second. Look at this number. So that's v is equal to 20 plus 1 into 10, which is equal to 20 plus 10, right? And therefore v is equal to 30 meter per second. This unit is very important. Many times we forget to write unit, and therefore we have to write answer, right? Final velocity or speed after 10 seconds is 30 meter per second. So your page look like this, right? So all that pictures and what we have drawn in this tutorial, you need not draw. You can draw it roughly, visualize it properly. Take care that all physical quantities are in the same units, preferably in SI units, and you get full mark, right? Well, I want you to go back to the same statement of this very simple problem, right? What we have done, we have converted this into meter per second, and how much of meter per second? 20 meter per second. Please recall. Right. Now look at this information. Acceleration is 1 meter per second square. So acceleration is 1 meter per second square. And what does it mean? It means that velocity or speed in this case changes 1 meter per second for every second. That's the meaning of acceleration. I'll repeat, velocity changes how much? 1 meter per second for every second. So how many seconds we have? 10 seconds, right? Since 10 seconds. So we can start counting from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on in 10 seconds. So starting it is 20 meter per second. And how much is the change for every second? It will be 1 meter per second. So after 1 second, what will be velocity? That is 21 meter per second, right? After 2 seconds, 22 meter per second. And after 3 seconds, 23 meter per second. And so on. After 10 seconds, what is the velocity going to be? Simple. Every second 1 meter per second. It is going to be definitely 20 meter per second plus 10 meter per second will be equal to 30 meter per second. I hope you have understood this. Why I have referred this and brought this particular concept back is to make you to understand the meaning of acceleration, right? So you can orally calculate the speed or final velocity in this case, okay, which you can do if this question is asked as MCQ. But if this is asked in a straight question in a theory paper, then you'll have to solve all the steps, right? Thank you.